Welcome everybody for another episode of the Everything Horror Podcast. My name is Paul Dosky and you are listening to Darsh Davis. You may know him from reviews and the recently written interviews. Well, now here is your chance to learn who Darsh Davis is. Enjoy. I'd like to welcome you, and to begin, how about you state your name and tell us a little bit about yourself for those that may be wondering.
Hello Paul, Tessa, and dear listeners. I am Darsh Davis or Darshdi. I am a blogger, YouTuber, a volunteer writer for Everything Horror Podcast or Everlasting Hauntings, who also happen to have a bachelor's degree in management studies with finance specialization from Mumbai University. I write reviews, articles related to horror books, comics, games, films, and also conduct interviews of horror creators.
What made you want to even do journalism to begin with?
I have always respected journalism as it provides important information to the common public. It spreads awareness about the important things going on in the society and around the world. For me, blogging, YouTube videos, and essays felt like a beginning of expressing my opinions and sharing news or helpful information. So that made me feel like I can be well suited for the journalism, even though I don't have a journalism degree yet. This made me encouraged to start volunteering for Everything Horror Podcast, Everlasting Hauntings in March 2019.
You started some blog sites. What kind of topics do you cover?
Thank you for asking about my blogs. I had already written some movie and game reviews on neoseeker.com since 2009, but I started my first blog in September 2018, covering topics of finance, jobs, motivation, inspiration, and life. Then in May 2019, I started writing movie reviews covering Hollywood movies, indie movies, and along with others. Everything Horror reserved for Everything Horror Podcast and Everlasting Hauntings.
How did you first learn about Everything Horror Podcast?
Back in March 2019, my online sister Sylvia, also known as Social Butterfly or Saya Moon, tagged me in a Facebook video post which was the volunteer program information video by Everything Horror Podcast. She always observed my comments about games or movies which felt like mini reviews. So she encouraged me to apply for the volunteer role at Everything Horror Podcast. I applied through the website. The process was easy. I shared the links to my reviews, told them the reason why I would like to contribute to the website, and thus I was accepted as a volunteer.
What have you learned while being part of the Everything Horror Podcast crew?
Being a part of Everything Horror Podcast crew has been a great learning experience, besides being fun as well. I was able to learn about WordPress editing, publishing, brand management on social media, handling clients, requesting articles, interviews, reviews, and also digital marketing. Besides the technical learning, I got to meet many good people, including the founders Paul Dosky and Tessa Baker, other volunteers, horror filmmakers, comic book creators, game creators, actors, and many horror industry professionals as well as fans. So, if anyone's interested in horror or writing, please do consider volunteering for Everything Horror Podcast. No matter where you are, you can work from home in your free time during weekends, and it's very comfortable to work in the leadership of Paul and Tessa. They are very professional in their approach and also care about the volunteers as well as their fans.
If you could interview anyone, living or dead, who would it be and why?
I would have loved to interview Sir Charles Chaplin, also well known as Charlie Chaplin, about his thoughts on horror and what he would have made if he was to make a horror comedy movie. Also, his thoughts on the world today, whether it be politics and corona outbreak.
Have you thought about possibly making your own shorts?
I have always appreciated the art of filmmaking, and as a YouTuber, I had done some skits on my tech and entertainment channel. During my school and college, I had participated in plays as well. After watching the short films by Paul Dulski and Tessa Baker, such as The Passenger and Terror Trail, besides many other independent films through my review work, I do feel like creating a film to make people feel better, inspired, and to entertain them. Perhaps even a horror or thriller movie too. I would love to be a part of any short film or movie as an actor, assistant director, or a crew member in future.
Final word for the audience and where people can check out your blogs and everything that goes on in the Darsh Davis world.
I thank Paul Dulski and Tessa Baker for giving me the opportunity to work for the Everything Horror Podcast, Everlasting Hauntings. Also for conducting this interview so that I could share my thoughts. My message to the listeners is to believe in your potential. Also support horror industry because it has given employment and entertainment to many generations throughout the world. Anyone who wants to make a difference in the horror industry, please consider volunteering for Everything Horror Podcast, Everlasting Hauntings, as they are one of the best people to work with, no matter who you are and where you are in the world. It also improves you as a person through priceless learning. Now, about my blogs, you can check out my blogs at darshd.blogspot.com, darshreviewsmovies.blogspot.com, and can connect with me on my Facebook page at facebook.com/darshd. I am darshd555 at Instagram, LinkedIn, and my motivational videos are at youtube.com/user/mrdarshd. That's Mr. Darshd, and tech, gaming, entertainment videos at youtube.com/c/Darshd. Thank you for your time, Paul, Tessa, and dear audience. I wish you all a bright future ahead. Stay safe and stay scary.
Once again, thank you so much for joining. This was a little small interview of getting to know Darsh Davis. And if you'd like to check out his work, please make sure to visit the description below in the episode notes. And follow, like, and all that jazz. And make sure you keep up. And remember to always stay scary. Good night, everybody.